So I've been talking about this job fair for the past couple of days. So if you didn't know, Safety Solutions is hosting a job fair. But what I didn't know was at the bottom of this flyer, there's the Permian Basin hiring events.com. Now I've banged on them in the past. If you haven't seen it yet, my playlist on TikTok. So I'm going to show you real quick as I do a screen grab. I'm gonna show you this page on TikTok. So this is my official hard hat page, Oilfield Trash Con. At the very top, there is a playlist with 8 videos on it. It's Oilfield Job Fair tips, and on this list, I have several videos. Hopefully, it doesn't play. I've got several videos where I talk about oilfield job fairs, and I expose the third parties that are on here. So I'm gonna share. We're gonna watch one video. Job fairs are scams. We're going to watch that video. We're going to watch it all the way through. And then I'm going to show you what they have done. They have changed the game. So through my content, they said, you know what? We've got to go ahead and put this disclaimer on there. They switched it all up just because I banged on them so much. And we did this. It goes to show you that having a voice as a content creator, it can cause change. So we're gonna get into that, but before we do, I'm gonna go ahead and shut off my TikTok, and I'm gonna transition fully 100% over to my YouTube channel, and we're gonna get this thing going. All right, so that's off. So the reason why I do this is because change needs to happen in this industry. Like we have to do something about the bull crap. Now, I understand businesses go into business to make money. Okay. Nonprofits sometimes go into nonprofit to earn money. It's a business world. We live in a capital nation. All right. So I get that. But here's some of the things that I do not like. I don't like deception. Okay. So if you're going to get your money, if you're going to sell courses, if you're going to do anything, that's cool. Just don't be deceptive. And this is how they were deceptive. I'm hoping that as I share this screen, I want to make sure that you all can hear the audio as I do the screen share. Let me see here. I want to make sure that y'all can get the audio on this. Activate system audio capture. See, the audio would not have been playing. So the two people on here, if you don't get the audio, please let me know. But if you haven't already, watch this video
If
on
you
my
recently
TikTok.
attended this job fair or job fairs like this, then most likely you were disappointed because they didn't do actually hiring like they said they would do on the spot, like it was advertised on the flyer.
Mm-hmm.
The very first thing that you need to know about these job fairs is it is structured like a business. So as you can see here, it's the Permian Basin Hiring Events. That is an LLC. So a license liability company, like licensed limited liability company, whatever. Okay, so it is an LLC. And what happens is they charge these companies to hold a booth in their hiring events, and in return they get hundreds of people to come to their events, and they pass out their resume, they exchange information, and these employers that paid for the booth have the picking of choosing, hey, I want you, I want your resume, hey, let's follow up with a phone call, give me your information. Okay, it is a business. So when they say hiring on the spot, that is not the oil field companies that are saying we're going to hire you. That's not what's happening. It is the promoters, which is the Permian Basin Hiring Events. They're doing the promoting for this event, and to get you out there, they're going to tell you that these companies are hiring on the spot, and they never do. They never do. Here's
Okay, so let's stop it right there, guys. So basically, that's the gist of it. That's what I exposed. I brought that out, and they had to totally switch up how they do job fairs now, how they put out their flyers. So I'm going to show y'all a couple of different things. I actually reached out to the Permian Basin as a business owner who wanted to hire employees, potential laborers, workers. All right, so y'all are gonna get the email. You're gonna get the screenshot of the text messages. Like this shit is so fucking crazy. How this is the business model, how people have gotten, wealthy or started, doing well for themselves by charging oil field companies so they can do the event planning for these job fairs. Okay. It's a whole business. On that playlist on my TikTok, I expose all of that. I tell you guys, do not get your hopes up to certain job fair career events. Okay. I tell you guys, do not get your hopes up for certain hiring events. So let's go to the Permian Basin website. So we're here on the website, and I scroll. There's a lot of things that I want to pick up on, but I want you guys to only focus on one thing right now. Just stick with me. Don't read ahead. Do not read ahead. Just rock with me, okay? So it says for employer booth registration. Just so when it says employer booth registration, I already know it's not free. Like you're charging something for that booth. So I reached out to him. It says text. So it says text this number for like employer if you want to get a booth. Okay. And another place on the website, it says if you're an employer looking to, be a part of this job fair, you want a booth, you want a couple of tables, text this number. So I texted the number. Let me see my. I'm trying to find my receipts here, guys. Give me a second. So this one I didn't upload. Hold on. All right. So we had exchanged a couple of texts before this, and this person asked me for my email. So I said, so this person said, can you tell me the type of job seekers you would like to hire? What are some of your available positions? So boom, I responded this. This is my company email. This is my company chat. So I said non-commercial drivers, general laborers for roustabout services, entry level 15 to 20 hires. Sounds good. You'll definitely be able to fill all of those positions at this event. Mind you, she was like, it was very little. How can I say this? It was very little red tape, right? So I could have been any regular degler Joe says, hey, I have a company and I want to be a part of your job fair. Sure, let me send you this information. Okay. That's what I got. That's the feedback that I got. They didn't do any vetting on my company. They just said, hey, look, you want to come? Okay, boom. So they sent me the table for what they charge. Okay. So let's look at what they charge. This is in the email. After I sent them my email, this person sent me an email. Hello, thank you for completing the hiring event information contact form. All right, yada, yada, yada. So listen to this. Information for a single multi-company event. This is pricing for one multi-company event. Midland or Odessa, Texas, or any that we hold multi-company events. New Mexico, Texas, Pennsylvania, Colorado, all these oil field places, okay? A standard booth if you have two company representatives. Okay. Boom. Max 2 company representatives, $6.99 plus tax. Today only. So this is going to show you that if I'm a company, I reached out to them as minor to major LLC. I said, hey, I've got a company. I want to hire 15 to 20 roustabout or laborers. And how much would it be, basically? So she sent over this chart. And the price, if I wanted to get started, me by myself hiring people, $699 plus tax. Okay. So any company that reaches out to the Permian Basin hiring events or marketing agencies similar to this, they pay for a booth. They pay for a table or two tables. They pay to have 2 employees there, 3 representatives, 4 or 5 representatives. They have to pay. There's a certain fee that goes along with that table. This is the business structure. I'm exposing and breaking this business structure down because it's important for you as an employee, as someone who is a job seeker looking for a job. What are you getting into? Are they really going to be hiring? Is this a hiring event that I want to attend? Okay, that's the only reason why I'm exposing this, because in the past, they've wasted your time and lots of other people's time by hosting these events, claiming that there's going to be hiring on the spot and not one company would hire anybody on the spot. So I changed that. I forced them to change that. So here, there's a lot more other different business models, like the fees, I guess. So this one's 1099 plus tax. So there's different packages, discounted packages. Like there's different packages on what you can do. Upcoming events, right? So if I wanted to be a part of the July 23rd event in Midland, Texas, if I wanted to be a part of the June 18th Midland, Texas, all right. So I can just text this number or call this number, and boom, I would say, hey, I want to buy this table for 2 employees, $700 or whatever it is, and I would pay, set up my booth, and hire people to come work for me. Okay, to bring them on board. All right, so you got the gist of that. Like we understand what's going on with the fee structure and how these oil field companies pay per booth, per table to be a part of these job events, these hiring events. Now we've got that out the way. We understand that. Well, why like okay, that's the big deal. Who cares? Who cares? All right. So in the past, there have been flyers that they've had, I don't know, a year ago, 2 years ago, a couple years ago, they had, or I'm not even gonna say a couple years ago, maybe 6 months ago, they had flyers out there that would say hiring on the spot. Okay. Now, because I put out my content, now you see not all companies hire on the spot. You see? You see? You see what we did there? Huh? You see what we did there? Because we exposed that shit, because we exposed it and we brought it out, you had people that were driving in from Houston, Texas, 7, 8 hour drive. You had people who would fly in from Florida. You had people flying in from Ohio, Florida, Ohio, Connecticut. I had people come up to me just the way I was dressed. They were like, "Hey, do you hire people? Man, I went to this job fair. I came out here and they're not even hiring nobody. They're just saying apply online." Because I exposed that shit, now on every flyer, not all companies hire on the spot. You scroll up and you get down to the bottom of the at the bottom of the flyer, not all companies hire on the spot. They have it twice on the same flyer. You see this? You see this? Let me show you. Okay, let me show you all. Let me show you the flyer that they used to post. Let's go back to the my TikTok. Let's go back to the TikTok, guys. Y'all just saw that, right? Now let's go to my TikTok. I'm gonna pause this video.
If you recently attended this job fair or
Okay, on the spot hiring. Y'all see this right here? It says on the spot hiring. It had it on multiple other places. So it says on the spot hiring, and then a little bit lower down here behind me where I'm talking, it says hiring on the spot. All right. So they used to promote on the spot hiring. But because I did that video and I started creating that content, don't go to the job fairs. People would go on Facebook where they would see these flyers. They would go on Facebook and complain about how nobody was hiring on the spot. Nobody would hire. Okay. So because I shot this content, I interviewed people at the job fair, and I would talk to them and they would complain. That was the feedback. Now they have a different flyer. On their flyer now, they're saying not all companies hire on the spot. You see that? It's bullshit, man. It's bullshit. People are spending their resources. They're spending their hard-earned money. They're spending their own money to come to these places. They buy new tires. I had a guy buy 4 new tires because he was going to drive 8 hours from Houston. That's $500-$600. He bought these tires to come to West Texas for this job fair, only to hear, okay, great, thank you, I appreciate it. Apply online, put your resume online. We have your resume right here, and somebody will reach out to you. People don't want to hear that. If they're spending their hard earned money, they're looking for a job, so they're not balling. So for them to spend $100 or $200 to get to where the job fair is, for you to say apply online, somebody might call you. The fuck? So it brings me to this job fair. This is not a multi-company job fair. It's one. Those are the job fairs that we want to go to. Those are the job fairs that we want to attend. The job fairs that have one company. One company will be hiring, okay? Guaranteed. They're going to be hiring. If one company is hosting this event, they're hiring. So that's why I still stand on this job flyer that is recently posted. I like Safety Solutions because they're established. They're well established. I had some. I'm gonna move it to this side, guys. I had some friends some associates out here in the oil field that worked for Safety Solutions. Really cool guys. I think now they're starting off at like, I don't know. I don't want to get your hopes up, but when I was talking to this gentleman, they were starting guys off at $24 an hour. He was getting paid like 21. So they may have gone up to $23, $24 an hour, 12-hour shifts, 6 to 7 days a week. It's a great opportunity. It is. It really is. But I stand on this hiring event despite me not liking Permian Basin hiring events because they have that business model of I'll give you another reason here in a second. The reason why that I'm not a big fan is because they used to say that they're hiring on the spots just to get hundreds of people from Facebook, hundreds of people across this country to come to these job fairs. And they would have 300 or 400 people lined up down the block going out the door of these hotels, and nobody was hiring. Okay. Um, so that's the main reason why I do not like these third parties, these Permian Basin hiring events. That's why I don't like them. I just don't. But safety, they're well known. They're well established. The Permian Basin hiring events, they're well established out here in West Texas. Almost every oil field company uses them. They've got a proven track record. They have great events that are successful. If you want to hire employees, so I understand why Safety Solutions went with them. They probably should have gone with somebody like Hard Hat to host their event, but they didn't. So they went here. So here are the details. It is June 10th, 2026, starting at 9 a.m. You want to jump in my Facebook group? Jump in my Facebook group. It should be in the link in the bio on this YouTube channel. I'll go ahead and put it in the video description when I get out of here. But join the Facebook group because on the Facebook group, I'm going to be giving you the game just 2 tips on how you can better prepare yourself for the job fair so you stand out. You've got to think about this. There's 200 to 300 people that are going to this job fair. There are approximately 30 to 40 people at max that they're going to hire. And the reason for that is because you've got day shift and night shift. So if they've got 3 or 4 different jobs that they're bringing on, they need at least 2 to 4 people for that job. Okay? They need 2 to 4 people for that one job. Night shift, day shift, possibly 2 people, depending on the location. Not a problem. Yes, I can see the chat. So, you guys, it's a great opportunity if you're trying to get your foot in the door. It's an entry level field tech, entry level position. No experience required. It's speaking to a lot of people. All right, it's speaking to a lot of people. Here you have a 14 to 7 rotation. A lot of times, if you want to stay out and eat, you can stay out on location longer than 14. You'd have to go to a different job, relieve other people who want to go on days off. So housing provided. Like it's a great opportunity, guys, especially if you don't have a mortgage, if you don't have rent or a lease, you don't have a car payment. Like, it's a great opportunity. Great opportunity. So you want to make sure that you are you're dressed not in a suit and tie. You're dressed not in church clothes. Some people's church clothes is a different standard. A lot of people wear tennis shoes to church, but you know what I mean. If you're black, you wear slacks, you wear collar shirts, you wear a tie, you wear penny loafers. Like, you're going really nice. Don't do that to these job fairs, okay? Jeans, FR jeans preferably, FR shirt, collared shirt, long sleeve, all of that oil field attire, okay? So, yeah, you guys, just from the advocacy from the content that I've done in the past, I've been able to really change the game on how they start marketing their events now. If you're just not coming in, you need to watch the replay. I kind of expose how before they would say hiring on the spot. Companies are going to be hiring on the spot. I brought it out. I exposed them on my TikTok channel, on my page. I started talking about them. I got interviews. People would complain about how no company, zero companies were hiring at these events. So they got pissed off and they took to my page. We talked about it. I did interviews. Now they're saying not all companies hire on the spot. Not all companies hire on the spot. They say it 2 times. Employer registration is open. This is a whole business. Multi-company job fairs, we don't attend. We do not attend. Okay? I don't care what it says on the flyer. It sounds good. There no experience per diem. Look, this is a third party agency. It's a marketing company. This is not an oil field company. You don't know if they're offering per diem or not. You're just assuming based off of the culture of the oil field. You don't know if they're offering housing. Okay? You don't know these things. So I hate that they put all this marketing, this good stuff on these flyers and they don't know really what they're getting. How about someone with a felony conviction? It depends. I talk about this on my TikTok. I have a couple of felonies. I have violent felonies on my my criminal background. The thing about this is it depends, okay? It depends. How long was the felony ago? Like, how long ago did you get convicted? Then it also depends on how long ago were you completely absolved of it. So if I went to prison in 2004, came home in 2009, was I on probation? It's when the whole thing is done. You're completely absolved of the crime, of the offense. Your complete payment to society, your debt to society is completely paid off. If I just got off of parole last week, it could be 7 years from last week. So I would have to wait till 7 years to apply to this company. I would have to wait 5 years from last week to apply to this company. But since I came home in 2009, no parole, no probation, no other convictions on my record, it's 5 years from 2009. It's 7 years from 2009. So since we're in 2026, I can apply to anywhere and I'm good. Not anywhere, but I can apply to a lot of places and I'm good. If you want to get on at Wireline, you can't have a felony. I can't apply to a Wireline. So you guys get what I'm saying, okay? So I hope that gives you some context to what to your question. Okay, yeah, I had to take a break. I had to take a swig. I needed a drink. So, um, right now we're gonna jump into a few questions. I just want to popcorn freestyle. Popcorn. I just want to popcorn this real quick, guys. So I'm going to answer a few questions. I'm going to jump off. What should I do after I put my application in for a company? You need to follow the 3-step model. Okay, follow my 3-step model. It's going to be a downloadable PDF. I'm going to go ahead and share it with you right now on my live. Let me go ahead and pull it up for you guys. Yep, here it is. It's going to be a downloadable PDF. If you join my Facebook group, I'm going to have it for you. You're going to get it. All right. You're going to have access to it. It's going to be in the tab. The one of the tabs for at the very top. It's going to be pinned at the very top. All right, here it is, coming in hot, guys. Give me a second. All right, there it is. All right, so this is the three-step hiring model, the process for how I get jobs in the oil and gas industry, and this is what I recommend that you do. So most of the jobs that I recommend, gosh damn it, most of the jobs that I recommend, they're going to be on Indeed. They can be found on Indeed. All right, I copy and paste jobs from Indeed, and I'll put them in the video descriptions of my videos. So I recommend that you apply on Indeed. That is step one. You're going to apply on Indeed, ZipRecruiter, uh, Glassdoor, wherever. You're going to apply first on those websites through the Easy Apply link. Then you're going to go to the company. You're going to Google the company, or if you know the website, you're going to go to the website. You're going to go to the website. You're going to find the careers tab on the company website. Then you're going to apply for the same position that you did on Indeed. And you're going to apply for any other job that you may qualify for. Entry level, basic, level one, tech one. Those are entry level positions that you may qualify for, despite what it looks like, despite what they're requiring on their requirements. Okay, because you may say requirements, they may say preference. Their preferred requirements. This is what we prefer. We prefer you to have 2 years oil field experience. Everybody prefers that. Okay, but it's not always a requirement. So you're going to apply to the website, to this job that you applied to on Indeed, and any other jobs that you may qualify for. All right, you're going to apply right there on the website. Then you're going to wait 3 to 4 business days, and you're going to call HR or a recruiter. This is what you're going to say. There's 2 different things that you can say. There's 2 different things that you can say, 2 different angles that you can go to. But just to be on the safe side, because you don't have a lot of experience doing this, unfortunately, I do. I've got a lot of experience because I don't mind calling people. I don't mind calling and speaking. You call them and you say, hey, I applied to a job. I don't know. I applied to a roustabout position online. I had really difficult trouble putting in the application. I just want to reach out to HR. I want to speak to a recruiter to see if they received my resume, if they received my application online. I just want to confirm that they received it. Okay. So 1, you had trouble applying online. 2, you want HR to confirm that they received it. We know that you had no problem putting in your application online. We had no problem. We submitted it. We did 2 or 3 applications online. We put our resume in the system. But what that does is, 3, what that does is it causes HR or the recruiter to pull your application, review it, look at it. Yeah, everything looks good. So out of the 200 people that applied to this position, 70, 80, 60, 50, 30, 20 people that applied to this one position, they pull, you got HR, you got the recruiter to pull your application. It's a big deal. So that significantly increases, I'm going to get to the comments, give me a second. That significantly increases the likelihood of them doing something with your application. They're going to email it, forward it, because they've already got it pulled up. They're going to forward it to the hiring manager. They're going to forward it to the supervisor out there in the field. The last thing that you want to say, before you jump off the call, this is very important. I know this is not on this graphic right here. This is the benefit of you watching my content live. Here's the benefit. I mean, here's the value. The value here is this is the very last line that you want to say. Okay, great. After they confirm that you got your application in, you submitted resume, everything. After all that is confirmed, okay, great. I just want the opportunity to interview for the position. Golden. Tell me that does not sound like a guy who's got a lot of experience doing this shit. It's almost embarrassing. It's almost embarrassing, guys. It really is. All right? If you need to, write down your lines. Write them down. Write down your script. It's super easy process. Will it work every single time? No. You may not even qualify. Okay? All right, let me get to some of these other questions. What should I do after I put my application? So I gave you the three-step hiring process that I recommend, the model for getting hired in the oil field. What if they say 6 months required for entry-level position? Damn. Lie. Okay, let me give. I'm gonna give you. Let me give you some. Gosh, damn it, man, guys. I swear, this is super unethical. I probably shouldn't be saying this, but I'm gonna do it anyway. All right, so you're going to 2019, more layoffs and troubled oilfield service sector. You're going to use Pumpco Energy Services. Say that you work for this Pumpco Energy Services company. They went out of business back in 2018. I just saw something that said 2019, but I'm trying to find the old address that they have, but it looks like they took it off of Google. Pumpco Oil Field. Let's see if that's it. Pumpco Oil Field Services. Permanently closed. This is what we want, okay, guys? This one here. This is what we're looking for. Right? That's it. This is their yard. Yep. This is their frac pumps that they had. Wow. I used to work here. Okay. Pumpco Services. Boom. This is the company that you use. All right. This is the company that you use. All right. You used to frac. Now, when you say things like this, when you do things like this, you need to be watching lots of videos. You need to be watching lots of content on how to frac. You need to know some terminology. You need to know about slip, trips, and falls. You need to know a little basics about safety. You need to know about the 3 points of contact when you go up and down a ladder. You need to know what PPE is and the 8 forms of PPE. I'm going to do a TikTok on that and possibly share it to my YouTube. So you're going to need know some of the basics. So when you apply to a safety position in the oil field, you're good because you've got oil field experience from this company that went down back in 2018. You used to frac for them. You did safety for Pumpco. Right? So you're going to have to do your due diligence because if they pop quiz you on some shit, you're going to need to know some basics. Say, man, it was so long ago, man. It's been a long time, but yeah, H2S, 3 points of contact. Like I was the one, blah 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 blah. Whatever you're gonna go with, that's what you roll with. How bad do you want it? How bad do you want it? Okay, so that's my recommendation. When I was looking for jobs back in 2019, after I got my CDL from Pubco in 2018, I got my CDL from Pubco. When they started to go down, they were not doing well. When they started to fall off, I started looking for jobs hauling diesel. I went to Texas Pride Fuel. But I told Texas Pride Fuel, oh, I have been learning on their pumps. I have been driving with them. I got, thank you for the like. I appreciate that. I had, been driving 6 months on the pumps, getting that experience backing in on location on the lease roads. And yeah, I just got my CDL 3 months ago, but I really been driving yada yada yada. Okay, I use Pumpco I've been working for Pumpco for a year. I've been driving on lease roads and parking the pumps for the past 6 months. I got my CDL from Pumpco. I mean, they helped me get my CDL. Got it from the DMV, of course, but you see what I'm saying, guys? So that's what I would do. All right? I would do that. If they were looking for experienced guys, if they were looking for 6 months, a year oil field experience, you always use a company that has gone out of business. I would use Pumpco. I've used them before. Okay. Uh Give me we're gonna take another commercial break. I'm gonna talk a little bit about the money before I end the live. But you're gonna want to stay for this last segment because at the end of the day, people are coming to the oil field because of the money. That is the motivation. So let me go ahead and end the live shortly with this last segment. All right. So you've got people who come to the oil field without a plan. The only thing that they know is I want to make lots of money. I want to make money. I'm coming to the oil field because I want to earn six figures. I want to be like Landman, and I just want to be balling with a big truck. But if you don't have a plan, you're going to fail every single time. I've done it 3 times before I got it. I failed 3 times before I actually got it. First time I came to the oil field was when I first graduated college with my undergrad. I was making $14.50, but I was still taking home $6,000 to $8,000 every single month. Every single month, I was taking home $6,000 to $8,000. But you have to think about this: $6,000 to $8,000. I don't have a mortgage. I don't have any kids. I don't have a lease. I didn't have a car payment. Ballin', we stay fly, no lie. You know this. That was me. Like I was doing it. So if I make $6,000 to $8,000, well, shit, I've got $5,000 in guaranteed bills. $5,000 off the rip, guaranteed bills. Then I've got to pay. Then I've got to buy food. Then I've got to pay for my cell phone. Then I like a little Wi-Fi in my house so I can look at my cameras when I'm not there because nobody's at my home. So I got to pay that bill as well. So when we add up, I've got damn near $6,000 in bills itself. Okay? So that wouldn't work for me today, but back then it worked. Here's the point. When you come into the oil field, the money is good right in front of you, meaning you're getting stupid hours. You're working 12 to 14 hours every single day. You're looking at what is in front of you. But if you're not keeping up, excuse me, I got popcorn in my teeth. If you're not keeping up with current events, if you're not keeping up with world events, you're not really forecasting what is to come with this oil and gas industry. It's an ebb and flow, meaning it's up and down, it's wavy, okay? So right now, we're in the highs. We're high. We're high. High peak season, the summer, spring, fall, high production season. We're working. Right now is the time to get in and make your money. In November, it slows down. So you need to be. There's this song. What is it? Waukesha? No, no, no. What's that song? Stack all summer because her birthday's in October or November, October. I don't know. But anyways, y'all, we have to stack all summer from now, from June, July, August, September, October. Stack because in November, December, we're gonna be struggling every year. Every year, never fails. So I want to prepare you guys for success. This is what I do. I talk about um, helping men level them up through high paying jobs in the oil field. I help people get jobs in the oil and gas industry. But once you start making this money, you've got to put money back. You have to be responsible. You have to be strategic because this industry is ebb and flow, up and down. Every November, December, it slows down. It fucks with your money. People start whining and crying. I told you 6 months ago this was coming. So I tell you guys to be strategic when it comes to this oil field. All right? Be strategic. The money is good. It's not like it used to be. It used to be $50. They would give you a little debit card or it would be direct deposited to your bank account. Every single week, you would get your per diem, $300, $400 per diem on a card or direct deposit or whatever. Every single week, you would get that per diem. Then they would put you in housing. That housing would give you food and the bed to shelter your room. So you would have housing at a hotel or at a man camp, and you would get $40, $30 per diem every single day, every single week for food. Some of those housings would have food. Oh my God. The oil field used to be freaking stupid. I mean, dumb. And I was kind of salty about it because here it is. I go to school. I got a bachelor's degree, general psychology. I went on and got a master's degree in clinical psychology. I've got all these years of experience and education, post high school, higher level education. Here I am, a licensed professional counselor. I've got my own company, right? Minor to major LLC. I'm doing all these good things and stuff. And these motherfuckers without a high school education making just as much money as me got $134,000 in student loan debt. And people that, I'm no shade. I was just a little salty back then. But people who worked in the oil field was making just as much as me or more than I was. Okay. Sure, they've got to work in the elements outside. Sure, they've got to work long hours. Sure, they have to be on long hitches, 14 days on straight, 20 days straight. Sure. But that's the sacrifice for earning as much money that they made. Here's the point. When you come to the oil field, we're not coming to the oil field. I'm coaching you. I'm telling you, we're not coming to the oil field to make this a life-changing decision, a career life-term goal. No. 1 to 2 years max. Stack your money, stay focused, stack your money, invest in you, whatever that is. I don't know what you like doing. If you want to start a t-shirt business, every month you buy a little piece of equipment for your t-shirt business. Tables, stickers, what are the tags? I don't care. You invest in yourself. So by year 2.5, 3 years, hopefully if the oil field doesn't tank, you have enough money saved up. You have enough resources, all your boxes, your packages, whatever it is. I don't know nothing about t-shirts, guys. But whatever it is, you have all your equipment there. You're ready to hit the ground running and making money for yourself. You start doing videos, TikToks, you start doing all these different things on how you sell your product. I'm just using, generally speaking, guys, I'm just using t-shirt as an example, okay? Nobody's selling t-shirts. I'm just saying, okay? That is how you want to use the oil field. Let me show you something else. Let me show you something. This is one of my investments. I knew 2 years ago I wanted to be a content creator. I knew 2 years ago I wanted to be a full-time content creator. It's getting dark. It's getting dark outside. I'm using natural sunlight, and so the video quality is going to become a little bit more poor. So let me get some light in here. Give me a second, guys. But anyways, I knew 2 years ago this is what I wanted to do. Okay, and so I started investing in my equipment. I started investing in my equipment. This is an entry level basic camera. And for me, it was extremely difficult to learn. This is the ZVE10. It costs $700. Starter kit, $700. The lens for this, $600. Okay. I got all of this oil field money. That Arab money. Well, the Arab. This is oil field money. Oil field. All the tech that I have, I've got microphones, right? These microphones cost $100. I've got 3 sets of microphones, guys. I've got all of this equipment from the oil field. These are investments. These are investments. So when you come to the oil and gas industry, guys, make sure that you are investing in yourself. You are investing in yourself so you can be entrepreneurs, so you can be business minded, and you can start your own. You can have side hustles. So the oil field can be your primary earning. Then you have on the side something that you may sell. Maybe your partner, if you have a wife, or you have somebody that can help you out at home. I've got my parents who are helping me build a dog kennel. So I'm starting off with Frenchies now. I used to do something else, bullies. Now I'm doing Frenchies. I've got resources. I've got family. I pay for the dog food. I pay for the dog vets. I pay for all that. They care for the dogs, right? So now I'm able to have my money in different pockets. I started a dog kennel, selling puppies. I've got my minor to major, my private practice. So during the daytime, I see therapy clients. Then I've got a primary income in my oil field paycheck. Then I've got content creation that brings about $500 to $1,000 a month, right? So I've got my hands in different pockets of money. And all of this started because of the oil field. I bought a $2,000 Frenchie. I've got about $5,000 worth in tech gear. I've got, right? So you invest in yourself. That is the moral of the story. I don't want to brag on the stuff and everything that I have. But the point is you want to invest in yourself. So you can do these things and you don't have to depend on the oil field, because when the oil field goes down, you're going to be shit out of luck. You're going to be like, oh, fuck, damn, I got this bill. I got to pay my money. I got child support. Fuck, what am I going to do? You've been proactive. You've got these investments. You have backup plans, okay? And the hustle really starts coming on. You really start hustling. When you lose that job, when you lose that $6,000, $7,000, $8,000 take home every single month, the hustle really comes on. All right. So I'm done. I'm done preaching to you guys. If you don't have any more comments, make sure that you subscribe if you haven't already. Join the Facebook group. I'm going to put the link in the video description of this video. I'm going to see you guys on the other side. I hope you appreciated this live, the value that I brought to you. If you got all the way to the end of this live, which is 50 minutes, if you got all the way to the end of this live, make sure that you put replay, #replay in the comments, and I'd appreciate it.